Good afternoon, good morning, good wherever from paradise. I'm Ian. This is Nick. We are back with another video. Wednesday, June 5th. The market is pumping right now. And it kind of reminds me, it's giving me like DeFi summer vibes a little bit. We want to talk about BNB, what's going on, why is BNB was sub 600 a week ago. Now we're almost at 700. What the heck is going on with BNB? It's not like the SEC approved an ETF for them. So what the heck's going on with BNB? Launchpads seem to be heating up. Base chain is also picking up a lot of traction. So there's been speculation about base chain summer or something like that. So we'll talk about these things. This is a great time to be following the channel. Like, subscribe, follow everything we're saying because the market is heating up. And we are, I think, in the beginning of what's going to be a really, 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 really crazy bull run.
Yeah, I would agree there. I mean, I've been saying Bitcoin to 100,000 by the end of 2024, Ethereum to 10,000 by the end of 2024. Bitcoin breaking out here a little bit. Ethereum is still lagging to Bitcoin, even though the ETH ETF has been approved. That's because the actual funding and launch of the trading of the ETH spot ETF hasn't happened yet, guys. And what happened, Ian? We said if the ETH spot ETF gets approved in May, there's going to be less of a dump because there wasn't time for speculation. While we had the pump, we haven't dumped. We're at the exact same levels of that pump. Funding coming soon, which is going to be one of the catalysts for all coins. Super exciting times. The next 12, 18, 24 months for crypto should be exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's giving me DeFi summer vibes. If anyone was around in 2020, summer of 2020, we had Bitcoin halving obviously happened. Market sort of a bit of a downtrend for a while, and then you start that uptrend, and then it really went crazy towards the end of that year. So we're following that exact trend line, and I see no reason why we're repeating it. It is more or less repeating now. Bitcoin over 70K, 71K right now. ETH pumped 3,800, over 3,800, and then BNB. I want to talk about BNB because people might not know why BNB is pumping and what the significance of that is. So BNB is the native coin of Binance Smart Chain. It's a chain similar to Ethereum. You can deploy dApps on there, tokens on there. There's swapping protocols. PancakeSwap's a notable one. It's a gas token. So we know that. But the other thing about BNB, it's also it's a centralized exchange token as well. So it has dual utilities. You can the original utility of BNB was you hold it within Binance, and that reduced your fees on trading on that platform. That's still in effect. They've added more utilities as time went on, and the other utility that they've added, when they did this a few years ago, is you can hold BNB to enter into essentially pre-sales, ICOs, that are hosted on Binance, the Binance site. And what has happened over the past few days is they have started to announce they're doing launches on their launchpad. You can hold BNB to enter into these launches or attempt to enter in, because I think it's a lottery system over there. It's not so by no means guaranteed, and we're not necessarily advocating for going on and trying to use that path. But what it means is that it's signaling to me that we are on the cusp of a new alt season where launchpads are going to go crazy, new coins are going to go crazy. Binance is smart. They usually lead the way on these things, and they're all in on launchpads right now, or new launches, and that's why BNB pumped from 6 to 700 in a couple days.
Yeah, I mean, so on top of that, obviously, Ethereum spot ETF puts a little wind in the sails of BNB, but the launchpad is the biggest thing. If retail people want to get involved, like you said, you got to own BNB, you got to stake BNB. But also, these projects that are being launched on the launchpad on Binance are going to get a Binance listing. And how do you think these projects, outside of just being good investments, get involved there? I bet you there's some kind of holding requirements of BNB that may be public out there if you're one of these projects, may not be. But I can almost guarantee that there is some kind of holding requirement of BNB itself. And that's why you're seeing price also go up. These projects are buying BNB to potentially get one of these slots, because everybody knows if you get listed on Binance, your coin is going to do well, at least in the short term. So you go buy BNB, you apply for this thing, you hope you get picked up, you give Binance a bunch of your tokens for them to sell, and there you go. You got one of the best centralized exchange listings. Like Ian said, why is this a signal? Binance leads the charge. They are telling you, hey, we think alt season's about to be here. We're opening a backup launch pads. We're putting our brand and our name and our listings behind these brand new projects that have no prior experience, but we believe retail and alt season is here, and those things will pump, do well, produce us trading volume, and put our brand and our name in a good light there as well.
Absolutely. Binance is one of the biggest, if not the biggest player in the industry. There's worse companies to follow. There's worse signals to follow than Binance. But I want to talk a little bit about what this means for the launchpad sector as a whole, because I believe, and this is based on my prior experience, obviously nothing on this channel is financial advice, but in my prior experience during bull runs, launchpads are one of the best investments. Why? Token utility is clear. You stake or you hold a certain amount of that launchpad's token in order to access the pre-sales, the private sales, ICOs of newly launched projects where the upside can be tremendous. That's where you normally find those 100x opportunities in these newly launched projects. The launchpad is that conduit in there. And so I think you're about to see launchpad tokens do very well. We just recently invested in a few. I want to highlight one that launched just yesterday is called Trailblaze. They've been around for a while. They had an NFT collection. They were doing sort of pre-sales, and they've been in that sector for a number of years now. And they decided to build out a launch pad. So that just launched yesterday. I think did about 4x. I'm not sure where it's sitting at now. And then another one that we recently invested in as well is called Legion. They've been doing basically a launchpad, but it's kind of a different twist on it. They have some different features, and their token utility is slightly, they have additional token utility. So we can talk a bit about them. We'll have them on the show as well, hopefully here. But I think launchpads, the beginning of a bull run, launchpads, some of my best investments ever. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, because A, you get the underlying token with great token utility that everybody's going to pile in and chase these pre-sales. But B, that's what gets you the allocation to the pre-sales. That's what gets you allocations to the 10x's, the 100x's that are going to be vesting over the period of this bull market, that are going to be doing well over this bull market, and you can be earning passive income along the way. The one launch pad that we talk to a lot and we talk about a lot because we hold their token and we're part of their team is TDI, Decentralized Incubator, which is a branch off of Ferrum Network. By holding the Ferrum tokens, you get into this pre-sales. I think we've already had 1 or 2 100x's this cycle, and we're really not even in the alt season yet, just because launchpads allow you to get in projects and visions before anybody else, before it gets to the public market. And if you are investing in the right pre-sales, that sets you up for great success. That means you're going to know everything about the project, the product. You're going to be able to utilize the product the most to get the most amount of APR. And of course, hopefully, you're getting in at a cheaper price than the market ever sees, which means there's no way you can lose when that happens. So no guarantee on those. Some of them fail, obviously, just like any other startups. But it is the best opportunity to jump in earlier than the market ever sees. So I think that, like you said, easy token utility, access to other potential big wins. And once those big wins start happening, more new retail users get jealous of you. Your friends are jealous. They pile into that token as well, which sends your token price higher as well as the pre-sale price profits. And that's how you win big in the bull market.
Yeah, played out exactly like that last cycle. One of my best personal investments of all time was Pools. Pools Finance. They are a launch pad. They were new last cycle. They launched in, I think, early 2021. But that was 100x, right? Because of exactly what you said. Beginning of the bull run, new projects. They were good. They were smart guys. They knew how to select projects. They were good at that. And people then piling into the Pools token to get access to these deals. And, rest is history. So launchpad tokens in the beginning of a bull run, awesome investments. By the way, it's important to always talk about the risks of these things. And that is launchpads and newly launched projects are highly cyclical, even more so than the regular crypto market. It's very sensitive to whether the market's bearish or bullish. And so launchpad tokens tend to do poorly in a bear market. So just, obviously, always be thinking about that too when you have an exit strategy in mind. But
That's
in our
the
view here, we're beginning a bull run. So, not something to be overly concerned of at this moment in time, but something to think about for the future.
And that's a nice thing to keep in mind there too, is looking for these launchpad tokens that have other utilities or other revenue streams besides just pre-sales. We're starting to see that with Ferrum, with the launch of their multi-swap and their mainnet, all by the end of the summer. Going to provide a lot more utility for Ferrum. So by the time maybe the bull market isn't as great for pre-sales, they'll have a mainnet, they'll have a scaling solution, they'll have a multi-swap, all of these that are revenue producing and can kind of pick up the slack on the pre-sale side. Another one is the sister company of Floki, which is Token and TokenFi. They have a TokenFi launchpad now. The price of the token is doing really well, but they also have, token deployment and other product suites that are really going to pick up the slack when pre-sales don't really become a thing. If anybody's still deploying tokens or doing anything in the RWA sector, they still have revenue streams, which produces buybacks and burns of their token, and ultimately still supports that token price during that bear market.
Yeah, that was a great thing to point out. It's important and it sort of aligns with my thesis about investing in general, which is, you want to invest in people because market changes, especially in crypto, things evolve so quickly with the technology. You want projects and teams and founders who are able to navigate and evolve and add new utilities, add new features. I mean, Binance is the king of that. They're the absolute king of that. They have their flagship product, makes a whole bunch of money, their exchange, but then just adding, adding, adding. Now they have the chain, launchpad. I'm sure they have like 50 utilities. They do the burn. They're the king of just constant evolution, improvement,
And
added utilities, added products. And then, of course, companies like Ferrum, similar story. Token, Fi with Floki as their meme that kicked them off. So that you want it, you want to be investing in smart people, not just a singular idea in most cases.
And to tack on with the Binance thing, understand that Binance, you just named them the king, right? They've been around forever. That they are the king, right? They do everything. BNB's $700. It was $2 at IDO price, but not everything they've done has been successful. So in order to be the king and to find success in this, doesn't mean everything you do is successful. If you guys don't remember, before BSC, they tried doing the Binance DEX. They saw more people wanting to be on chain. They thought they're going to have more regulatory scrutiny globally around their centralized exchange. So they tried launching the DEX to produce revenue and to provide more value and utility for BNB. I don't even know if that's still out there and around or if it even exists. It was such a failure that's when they came up with BSC, implemented BNB as the utility token of that BSC chain, and now they let PancakeSwap and ApeSwap and all these be the dexes within their chain and in their network. So that's just a big thing. They had all the money in the world, all the research in the world. They tried to do something, it didn't work. They pivoted, and now BNB is at all-time highs and outpacing that of Bitcoin.
Yeah. I don't bet against Binance. Obviously, CZ's had his troubles, but I mean, God, they shrugged that off too. I mean, the founder is, going to be serving a short prison sentence for money laundering, but yet, the business goes on, and he's gonna leave that prison sentence still one of the richest people in the world. Like, just think about
He's
that.
gonna leave it. He's gonna leave it at the peak bull market timing. He's gonna come back
Yeah.
and he's gonna be the final pumper of our bags after his prison sentence.
You heard it here first, folks. CZ walking out of prison, gonna pump us pump BNB to
And
$2,000.
that'll be the top single.
Yeah.
Sell everything.
I love that. So yeah, we're talking about trends. We're talking about summer, DeFi summer. It reminds me of that. Nick, you mentioned something to me before we jumped on this video. Base is
Yeah.
heating
So
up big
yes.
time. What's up
So
with that?
Base started heating up, after Solana did because everybody's trying to find the new chain for memes. Base obviously very cheap, EVM compatible, still doing good, but I still think you're very early on Base, and the reason being is Coinbase is rolling out upgrades within their retail user platform and their wallet to integrate Base chain. So now people are going to be onboarded to Base chain as the first EVM compatible chain very easily. So when new retail comes in, it's going to be like supercharging that learning curve that you had when you got MetaMask and Ethereum and then had to add new chains. You're going to be signing up for Coinbase, buying your first Bitcoin and Ethereum, and being prompt on, hey, do you want to own custody and get onto this chain where you can buy all these other Deegan coins? Here you go, try Base chain. So that's why a lot of people are speculating on this on-chain summer for Base, and I do believe that is going to be massive. I know a few days ago, some big name people and influencers, I won't name them. It was a few days to a few weeks ago. I had a bunch of people in my Discord talking about, oh, this person said that the market top's already in, and that's it. This person said that to sell everything on Base because it's over. To me, that makes no sense. And right now, Bitcoin is back to the highs. We barely finished the halving. The Ethereum spot ETF hasn't even started yet. And Coinbase is putting out these wallet updates today, June 5th. So why would you want to be selling your bag before Coinbase does a major protocol upgrade that's going to potentially onboard a ton of new money? And when the retailers come, because the retail is not here yet, when the retailers come, they're going to be prompt to get onto the network where you own all these altcoins. So that's crazy to me that people think the top is in. And I think this is still that bear PTSD. And I think that is why this market cycle can be so explosive. So many of these big influencers who made it big are sitting on a ton of cash, and they'll FOMO just like you if the price continues to rip higher. And that's what I think is going to happen. And that's why I'm excited and why I'm still remaining long here. The everything that we've predicted is coming true. Everything is lining up, and selling here just sounds low IQ to me. It makes no sense. I don't see the philosophy behind it. They're saying these are top signals. These aren't top signals. If you look at YouTube trends, these YouTubers were getting like 8 million views a day, right? Now there is more YouTubers than ever than last cycle, and they're getting between 4 to 800,000 views a day. So there's more channels with a tenth of the views. That means retail is not here. We don't have new money. The people with small bags aren't paying attention yet, and the OGs think they're too smart for the YouTube game. So that's why I think there's so much upside here in the altcoins, and that's why I think that is another signal to accompany the other two that we already mentioned.
Yeah, nice. On-chain summer. Let's get the normies onboarded. Let's get them owning and custodying their own assets. I agree. The non-Web3 people, the retail who, or you could call them tourists, whatever, they're really not here. This is just quick anecdotally. You can often tell when the top is close or when retail's when your friends are asking you about it. When regular folks are talking about crypto in the barbershop or in a taxi cab or just in a bar. And we're not anywhere near that. All my friends know I'm in crypto. I've been doing it 7 years. I got one guy who hit me up a few weeks ago and was like, hey, man, like, what's up with Ethereum? That was it. At the height of the last bull run, I had three groups of all friends from real life, none of which were real crypto people. There was probably 7 or 8 people in each group. One was like my college friends, one was my law school friends, and one was high school friends. And they were all looking to buy crypto back at the height in 2021. So we are not anywhere near there. Having just happened, Ethereum ETF hasn't even been fully finalized yet and funded. We're nowhere near the top.
Right. Well, and that goes on to what I said too, is those people probably dabbled their foot, maybe put 100, 1,000, 10,000 in the market at that time, and you haven't been hearing from them. That means as soon as things got tough, they either stopped paying attention or they sold out of everything and they own nothing. So you need to get that confidence back. You need to get those people back in, and usually that happens when Bitcoin goes to a new all-time high. But Nick, we had a minor new all-time high. Barely, and I don't even think that should have been the new all-time high. I've been on the record saying I don't think we should have topped out at 69,000. I think the FTX debacle really ruined that. The IOUs on Bitcoin, we probably should have approached 90 to 100,000 last cycle. So I think until we get 90, 100,000, break that $100,000 mark in Bitcoin, that you're just not going to have that retail FOMO. Right now, we are having institutional FOMO. The institutions are taking advantage of the opportunity and taking the coins from underneath you. They are accumulating. BlackRock bought another 250 million worth of Bitcoin. Now, not all that's BlackRock, but that is institutional players or financial advisors telling your grandma that they need 1% in Bitcoin, and they're buying those funds. But my friends, like you said, I was just at the wedding party for my sister. Everybody's seeing my post now in Colombia. We're about to go to Tulum, on the beach, on this, all that. So they're all coming up. That people start treating you a little. They start treating you a little different, and they're asking what you're doing. They're asking a little bit about crypto. How can they get involved? But guess what? I told them we have a beginner course on learncrypto.io. Not one single beginner course was sold. No promo code was used. That means all of them are asking questions, but nobody is taking action. And until people start taking action, where the retail is just simply not here, you're not going to see the God candles without that happening. Unfortunately, this is player versus player. You need new money to come in, new holders to come in, new stakers to come in, and that's when your bags are going to pump. But I think we're on the cusp of that. You look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. It's awfully high. It got rejected there. We saw that little mini alt season, but now it's high again. But once the Ethereum spot into ETF starts, the inflows start coming, ETH will outpace Bitcoin. That will trigger the next altcoin season. And if it's like DeFi summer in 2020, we're going to have the on-chain summer of 2024 that we'll look back on in 2 years and be like, wow, the opportunities we missed or we sold too early, or we skipped that pre-sale, you'll be kicking yourself and you'll be having to wait another 2, 3 years until you get the opportunity again.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Crypto Paradise always coming with the alpha, the insights. I completely agree with you. I'm just so glad we're in this market. Like, God, can you imagine not owning any crypto? That's just be insane.
I'd be still sitting at the desk job right now, punching my chair
Oh
because I couldn't
no,
get
no,
logged into the TradFi portals or something.
no, no, thanks.
It was
No,
stressful.
thanks.
Crypto's stressful, but it's a different stressful. You can walk away, you can take a break, you can go hit some golf clubs, you can hopefully find yourself on a beach sometime, or you can do videos like this rather than having to deal with corporate and overhead bosses and whatever. And not to say that everybody who, if you jump into crypto, it's going to happen right away, but you have to start somewhere. Ian said he's been in this for 7 years. I've been in this since 2016, 2017. So that's 7, 8 years. It took a lot of time to get to where we are now. And still, although we have financial freedom, there's always still bills coming in. There's still more aspirations that we have. There's still more successes that we want to produce. So it's all a learning curve. You got to put your toe in before you can jump in, folks. So hopefully Crypto Paradise can get you on some winners. You hit some 10Xs, and then things get a lot easier because now you have more capital to spread out to other opportunities or more capital to put in the big dogs like Bitcoin and Ethereum that aren't going to make you rich, but they are going to make you wealthy.
I love it. Guys, this is an awesome video. We will be back tomorrow, maybe with a guest, maybe not. Till then, we will see you on the beach.